What's up, y'all? It's your boy Shazni. My pull list episode 2. We're gonna start off with Absolute Batman issue 7. So this is a start of a brand new arc, and you can tell by the cover and the title of this arc itself, Absolute Zero. Essentially, Mr. Freeze is trying to make a name for himself in this absolute universe. As far as the start of a new arc, this isn't as strong as the Zoo arc. I like the issue, but I didn't necessarily love it. There are certainly some interesting elements within the way Scott Snyder is trying to execute this version of Mr. Freeze. The best part of this issue for me was the conversation he had with his friends. I thought that was brilliant. That was the highlight for me. Everything else was interesting and maybe intriguing at certain extent. This specific start of a new arc wasn't all that exciting as it could have been based on what Scott Snyder has previously done, but still a solid start for a new arc, and I'm looking forward to seeing how all of that will play out. The biggest complaint I would like to put forth here may be the art. So far with this run, the art for me personally has been a hit or a miss. Of course, it depends on the artist, but something about the art here just didn't really hit. And there's a part of me feels like with a better art serving Scott Snyder's writing, it would have made it a better experience. Not that it's terrible by any means, but it's not up to what I was hoping for or up to what I've been experiencing for the most part with this run. Action Comics issue 1085. So this is supposed to be a 2-issue arc from the Superman Superstars line. It genuinely felt like a Saturday morning cartoon. I say that with great compliment. It was very well done. And I really love Clark in this. Clark is certainly one of the greatest actors alive. And I thought he was really funny in this book. That was one of the 2 best elements in this issue. I just really love the scenarios that he was in, the way he communicates. He's so good, man. He was really funny. I really love how he was executed in this book. And the second best part is that suit. That suit was clean. That shit was next level, pure, straight fire. And it was a great surprise because I didn't even know that we were going to have a new suit for this arc. I'm looking forward to seeing how this concludes because it does live up to the Action Comics title. Batman Dark Patterns issue 5. Alright, I've been really enjoying this series so far. It's been fantastic. I think personally it is the best ongoing Batman title. It is certainly doing something much more different than the other ones, even though the other ones are really good as well. But this has a very unique look and feel to it. I really love the writing, staging, and the scenarios in which Batman operates within this series. I might be a little late in realizing this. Beyond the incredible art and writing, there was a different kind of a gravitational pull for this Batman title. And I was wondering, what is it? And I may be late in figuring it out, but after this issue, I know what it is. Batman Dark Patterns brings me back to the atmosphere of Batman Year 1 by Frank Miller. For most of you, it might have been obvious, but I wasn't necessarily looking at it from that lens. But there was something about the feel and the aesthetic that really lures me in, and it's because I love Batman Year 1 so much. This feels like a great companion piece to that start. I hope I'm making sense in the direction I'm coming at. The atmospheric immersion that you get with Batman Year 1 is what you get with Batman Dark Patterns. It is obviously different narratively, and this Batman is clearly far more experienced, but you can still feel that this is a young Batman. Also, there's something inherently badass in the circumstance and staging this Batman finds himself in. It's not that he's beating up 500 people every issue and every panel, but he just feels badass because of the atmosphere and the circumstance in which this Batman operates within. Last but not least, The Amazing Spider-Man issue 1. So we got a new number 1 with Spidey. It's no real news to say that the fact that TASM has been a hit or miss for potentially the last decade for many people. And for me, I couldn't really say because I sort of tapped out, even though he's one of my top 10 favorite superheroes of all time. But the constant disappointing nature of his books, it's so hard to tap into his run. And I'm quite certain Marvel hears it and knows it. And I chose to pick up this new number 1 for Spider-Man, hoping for some greatness. Or at least, at this point, something good, something worthy of the character. And I'm happy to report that I absolutely loved issue 1. It isn't doing anything revolutionary. It's doing things that we love about Spider-Man. It just does it with a fresh coat of paint. I am all for the team finding their footing. And I think with this issue 1, I feel hopeful. Joe Kelly does a great job writing Spider-Man. It really feels like him. I know that is bare minimum. I mean, it's a Spider-Man title. Spider-Man should feel like himself. But you know what I'm talking about. It seems like Spider-Man has been one of the hardest characters for people to be consistent with. And of course, this is just a first issue. And usually a lot of these writers start off great, but then somewhere in the middle, editorial or whatever it may be, they always go down a weird direction that frustrates everybody. But there's something about this book and this fresh start feels authentic and honest for me, especially reading this interview piece at the end of the book with Joe Kelly and Pepe Larraz. There is a sense of sincerity in which they spoke about Spider-Man and what this title means to them. Of course, that could come off as a PR statement, but the way it was written, it felt genuine to me, and I would love to believe that, especially with the way the book was executed. The writing was very well balanced. There was a lot of care in which how they written Spider-Man and Peter Parker in here. Pepe Larraz's art was next level pure straight fire. It was powerful, it was dynamic, it was exciting. It's everything I've been missing from Spider-Man. With all that being said, that's my pull list of the week. Let me know what y'all thought of these titles if you read them or if you're interested in them. And as for always, thank you so much for watching and see y'all on my next one. Salute.